When it comes to smartphone photography, Huawei has always been some sort of a leader. No matter the series, whether a Nova or a Pura, it does always aim to give you a balanced system.
Their latest flex, the HUAWEI Mate X7, and yes, it is a folding phone. But the folding part is not the flex about it. We've seen Huawei folding phones before. There's even a Huawei tri-fold phone that's more impressive than this old book type thing. So what is the big deal of the Mate X7? Well, unsurprisingly, the cameras, and that's why we're here, because Huawei is claiming that the cameras on this foldable is on par, maybe even better than some of the flagship phones of today. And we're not talking about folding flagship phones, we're talking about regular brick slab type phones. Yes, this is supposedly a rival to that, and you can go toe to toe with that. And that's very interesting because not a lot of foldable phones can claim that, because the camera department is something that can be easily compromised for this kind of form factor. For Huawei to claim something like that, well, it is pretty bold, and of course, something we need to check out. Let's get started.
Before we check out the cameras, let's look at the hardware. The Huawei Mate X7 continues being slim and sleek, but is now even more refined. Unfolded, it's just 4.5mm thin and weighs about 236 grams. Under the hood, it manages to fit a 5600 mAh battery. Not only does it last longer, giving you about 11 hours of use, it also charges faster than the Mate X6. But the real hardware jump here is the durability. The Huawei Mate X7 features a crystal armor Kunlun glass, which is way more scratch resistant than before. Plus, it's got a dual IP58 and 59 rating, meaning it can handle high pressure, high temperature water jets. And with foldables, the more protection you get, the better. On the software side, it's running Huawei's latest EMUI with a focus on that 8-inch internal screen, offering features like live multitasking. And for apps, you still have the Huawei App Gallery.
The app gallery has evolved over the years, and it is much easier to get Google apps and other essential apps without too much of a hurdle. There is an extra step or two to get things running, but it's really a lot easier compared to a few years back.
Now on to those cameras. The Huawei Mate X7 offers a 50-megapixel main camera and is paired with a rather large sensor. In fact, this sensor is much larger than what most foldables offer.
Interestingly, this also introduces a low-fic CMOS sensor, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, and that makes it capable of about 17.5 stops of dynamic range, and that's a number that is similar to cinema grade cameras like the Red camera. So it is a very interesting to have on a smartphone. Now, of course, we also still have the physical aperture, the variable aperture, so it's easier to control light intake if you want to go a little bit more professional or a little bit more in-depth with how you take your photos.
But it's the telephoto lens that's worth talking about. It has the same number of megapixels, but this time it does get a new design.
So instead of the previous periscope design, it's also a design that you can find on other phones, Huawei actually opted for a vertical or an upright telephoto lens. Now, why opt for something like that? Well, Huawei does claim that it is to better utilize that RYYB sensor. Now, with that vertical type of structure, the vertical lens, Huawei claims about 127% more light intake than regular slab phones. So that's a bit of a big number when you're talking about light intake. But something that really did capture my attention with this phone is the Telephoto Macro, especially the macro part. It's pretty amazing what this phone can do close up, and you'll see some sample photos later on.
Rounding out the setup is a 40-megapixel ultra-wide camera, also with an RYYB sensor. Now, since all three cameras use the same sensor, you're guaranteed better color and quality consistency. If you're recording a video, for example, and you want to zoom in and out, you won't notice that much of a jump when the phone switches lenses. Now for selfies, we have an 8-megapixel camera on both the cover and internal screen. As for video, this phone can record up to 4K at 60 frames per second. It comes with optical image stabilization on both the main and telephoto lenses, and pairs it with AI image stabilization. Now onto the main event, some sample photos. The benefits of that large RYYB sensor are immediately felt. The level of detail is impressively intricate, even in busy or heavily textured scenes. Indoor photos hold their own too. Contrast remains balanced for the most part, and you can really see that dynamic range at work. This phone is able to maintain a high level of detail while keeping that noise floor pretty low.
Now, smartphone or not, I've always loved the look of a telephoto lens. There's less distortion, especially for the face. You get a compressed background and of course that beautiful bokeh.
Even though optical zoom shifted to 3.5 times this year, that larger sensor and faster aperture more than make up for it with significantly better clarity and a closer focusing distance. For portraits, I do appreciate that it's a fast enough shooter. Post-processing also adjusts when you're shooting faces. It often softens the contrast so you get a more balanced, natural look rather than that over-processed AI vibe.
The Huawei Mate X7 truly is one of the more impressive macro shooters that I've seen in a while. And it's even more impressive because it is a folding phone and it is working with a lot less in terms of body and space. So what makes it a good macro shooter? Well, I believe in my time with it, I believe there are two big things. First, of course, is the hardware. The camera is capable of capturing detail very well because of all the things from the dynamic range and even the post-processing. It all helps to bring those details to life. But the second part that makes this a really good macro camera is the focusing distance. You can get in as close as 5 centimeters, and combining that with the quality or the capabilities of this camera, then you really are able to get the tiny details. You can make those surfaces, especially since with macro, you're dealing with macro or tiny subjects. So I'm going to try and quickly demo for you guys just how close you can get with the telephoto macro of the Huawei Mate X7, featuring our fish tank right here. So let me put you down right here so you guys can see a bit and get my camera. So this is the Mate X7. I am on Pro mode and I'm going to set the focus to the very left, the macro, so I can get as close as I can. And I think that's about it. And I'm just gonna push in till we get some focus, just so you guys can see. So I'm trying not to tap the glass because I don't want to disturb the fish. So they will try to get even closer. But I'm already at the glass. I'm literally at the glass. So, oh, there's one. And then there's another one. When folding phones first came out, one of the most compromised components, one of the most compromised features were the cameras, and understandably so. It wasn't only till a few years ago, or maybe just a year ago, that we started getting folding phones with pretty respectable camera systems. The first of one I've tried was the Honor Magic V3, but the problem with that phone is it was only good, at least for me, it was only good when you were using the hardcore system, because I was not a fan of the color science that Honor does bring. It's not bad, but it's just not my preference. But going back to what I've been saying, I've been using this phone a lot for all sorts of things, and I can honestly say that I am impressed. Here's a quick story. So there were a couple of times when I was out shooting with this phone, there were some people who would come up from me from behind, some strangers, some friends, but they would come up from me from behind and ask what phone I was shooting with. Of course, I couldn't say at the time because we couldn't tell people what we were shooting with, but it just kind of confirmed that even from afar, even if they were just looking at my display while I was shooting, they could see the clarity, they could see the detail, they could see that this camera was good, and it probably intrigued them that it was a folding phone.
But let's not be one-sided here. So, where does the Mate X7 struggle camera-wise?
The number one thing for me, and I've already mentioned this earlier in the video, really is that post-processing. And it's not even the aggression of the post-processing, it's more on the reliance of AI. It's just heavily reliant on AI for everything, for every photo that you take. Even if it's already a good daylight photo, the phone will still push it through some AI post-processing. And if you know how to spot AI generated things or AI photos that have gone through AI, then you will know. There are times that it is appreciated, no doubt about it. There are times that the AI can help bring all those details back and make the photo look better than what the hardware can do. But there are a lot more times that the hardware does just fine and it doesn't need that much AI and that much post-processing.
Second is that stabilization. It isn't always the most consistent. When taking photos indoors, for example, it wasn't uncommon to see a bit of shake. So if you're a run and gun type of shooter like for street photography, you might find that you have to be a bit more intentional with your grip to get a perfectly sharp shot. If you watched our previous camera reviews, then you know we try Pro mode when the cameras are really good. Now, one of the things I really like about Huawei phones is the way they handle RAW. Now, this phone has a wide dynamic range. You really see that processing power kick in when you switch away from the standard mode and right into Pro. And it's also a way to kind of escape that AI processing.
A few years back, or maybe many years back, there were just some things you could not do, some things you could not shoot with a smartphone. Mostly pro techniques, pro photography techniques, like long exposure, for example. You could not do that handheld. You absolutely needed a tripod, or you just absolutely needed to stay still. But these days, you can do it handheld. There's even modes on some phones that will help you in achieving that kind of effect. So that really did make me think, what other pro photography techniques can you do when a camera is this capable, when a camera is this good? Luckily, timing was pretty perfect. I was able to attend a small concert with a HUAWEI Mate X7 in my pocket, and immediately I thought of my good friend Jovelyn, who is an amazing concert photographer. She does fire shutter drag photos, and I'm taking a little bit of inspiration from her and seeing if I can do the same effect, the same shutter drag effect on this phone. So how did I do? Here are some of my favorites.
What's impressive here for me is even in a challenging environment like a concert, with moving subjects and flashing lights, the Huawei Mate X7 managed to keep subjects relatively sharp while capturing that intentional motion blur. It really just shows that the hardware is capable of more than just point-and-shoot photography if you're willing to play around with the settings. Moving into video, well, the Mate X7 again holds up for a foldable. Stabilization is notably solid, especially when you're shooting with the main camera. At 3.5 times zoom, you do get stability, but a little human intervention is best. You can also opt for ultra stabilization, but this does drop you down to 2.7K resolution max. A fair trade-off in our opinion if you do need that extra smoothness. Looking at this phone as a whole now, because obviously you won't just be using it for its cameras. Now, as a foldable, it does what it claims to do: increases productivity, gives you significantly more screen real estate, offers a lot of versatility, and better immersion overall. Now, both displays in and out are beautiful, but they can feel a little dim under direct sunlight. Performance-wise, that Kirin 9030 Pro chipset handles gaming without heating up too much, though high-resource apps and heavy camera usage do cause a noticeable battery drain. It does last for a good part of the day, but you will likely need to charge.
On the software side, it is the same old story. You still don't have native access to Google mobile services, but like I said earlier, the app gallery has evolved and it is much easier to do all of that with just a few extra steps. Now, I haven't really explored the whole productivity aspect of this phone because I love my cameras, but there have been complaints on it being not fully utilized software-wise. So if you do want to check that out, there are a bunch of other productivity focused videos and reviews out there. Me, I'm just here for the cameras.
At the end of the day, the Huawei Mate X7 is undeniably a refined piece of hardware that almost fulfills all the promises of a folding phone. Whether you're considering it just for the cameras or for the overall package, it's definitely an impressive foldable.
And I guess that's a wrap for this video. So let's just go back to that question. Is the Huawei Mate X7's cameras as good or just as good as a regular slab or brick phone? Well, I cannot 100% claim that they are because I haven't tested every flagship phone out there for the year. But as a photographer, as someone who shoots a lot with phones, I can truly say that I am very impressed, especially with its macro capabilities. I mean, for a folding phone to achieve this kind of versatility with its camera system, and not forgetting that it is this thin, that itself is a feat. If you want to see more sample photos, or if you really want to zoom in and pixel peep, let me invite you to our website. We will have all the photos up there. I'll leave all the links down below. And of course, let me invite you guys to follow us on our socials as well. We are The Modern Creatures on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and pretty much everywhere else. Every like, share, subscribe really helps us out, guys, because we love making these videos. We love sharing our thoughts on cameras and whatnot. So let us make more for you guys. But I think I've already talked enough for an outro. So this is Vika signing out, and I guess I'll catch you in the next video.